So last but not least, I wanted to make some kind of time series chart. So this is like an a stacked area chart, I think it's the appropriate name. But we're really looking at time here. So I did find a new data set since the one I had didn't have any time variables. I found all this on COVID-19. The only one small enough to actually fit in here, because it said I could only import 5 megabytes, is, well, this one, but it didn't really have what I want. So I'm going to do this countries aggregated. I'm going to import this. As you can see, it has the dates from the beginning of the year all the way until yesterday, which is pretty cool. But it's also really big, like almost 50,000 observations. So I'm going to deal with that, but not quite yet. All right, so first let's library. I don't think I ended up using this. I don't think I ended up using this. Oh, okay, I ended up using this. All right, so I'm gonna library all these guys. And then I'm gonna bring in my data, rename it data, and I'm gonna look at it, make sure that my date format is in the right format, and it is. It needs to look like year-month-day. And then we have countries as character. And you can see that it's recognizing it as a date format, so that's good. All right, so I'm gonna create this little data frame because I'm only gonna use the date, confirmed cases, and countries. So I'm gonna call this time, gonna call this value, country is my group, and then put it all together and rename it data. Then kind of look at it. And it's still really, really long, of course. I didn't really change anything. I just took some of the variables out. So what I decided to do, I looked at a lot of different ways of subsetting, and a lot of them kind of weren't working. So what seemed to be the easiest for me is I just decided I wanted to do the first 5 countries. That way I could just slice just those first 5 countries. So I had kind of scrolled down. This probably wasn't the quickest way of doing it, but I mean, it didn't take that long. It took like a minute to find where the 5th country ended. And I found that it was at case number 1310. So I'm just going to slice the data. This is, so basically data, telling it to slice it using the pipe symbol. And I'm going to do that. And then we're going to look at it again. And so now you can see it shows us 333, so omitted 977, which equals 1,310. It also tells us right here data now that that's what we've got. So now we can start building the plot. I'm going to use ggplot using this data set I just made. Here's the aesthetic function for mapping how the plot's going to look. I'm telling it that I want x to be this time variable, y to be the confirmed cases, my value, and I want to fill the color by group, which is the countries, the first 5 countries. Then geometric area, this is basically telling it that I want it to be an area plot, and that I want the fill of the area to be a little transparent, so it's going to be 0.6, where, like, you know, being completely opaque could be 1. The size 0.5 is the size of the line that's going to run through for each one. The color is going to be white, so it separates the countries. You can see each one. This is the thickness of the line, by the way, not the length of the line. YLab is the y-axis label. XLab, I don't need a label because there's going to be a legend that will tell you what countries it are, so you don't need that. So I left it blank. Theme, axis text, x dot. This is just basically some playing around I did with the x-axis that's gonna angle the dates a little bit. And then adjust at 1 is just telling it that I want the words to be horizontal, but they're going to be adjusted by 60 degrees. And this might not be necessary, but I just was playing with it and it looks okay, so I'm going to leave it. And then scale, this is just my color theme that I brought in from this package here, and it's just telling them that they're discrete. Discrete equals true because each variable is, they're discrete variables. So we can, I saved it as object P and I'm just going to open it as that object. So it printed by default by month, which I thought was fine because it's all from the same year. And I've got the title, confirmed cases, and then each group has its own color. So we can see Afghanistan has the most, probably because they have a bigger population. But yeah, you can see where coronavirus kind of starts and then where it is yesterday, which is kind of crazy. So this was a fun data set to work with. And I think this is a pretty graph. I think, I mean, it's kind of scary to look at, but it definitely gets the point across. So that's all I got for the data viz. Peace out.